Day one of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. I'm back. I'm doing the challenge again. I made the decision last night that I was going to wake up today on I believe the 11th of February and begin the challenge once again. And now this is probably, I think, round 5, technically for me, of 3 successful challenges. Now, the reason I'm coming back into this is because I have had the script for Monkey Junk Chapter 3 for at least 6 months. Too long for it to have been sitting in my to-do pile, and I decided that I really need to nut up and just do this. One of the biggest factors that really led me towards going, maybe I should try the challenge again, was I had 2 markets on the weekend. One was a zine fair, and one of them was a legitimate market, like a Sunday market. And it was my first one ever. And I had, a few people picking up Monkey Junk or even asking about Monkey Junk and how's it going and you're working on the next chapter, which I hear just so often. And it really made me think, you know what? I want to do it, and I have sort of intermittently been doing it, just little tiny bits here and there, but not enough to make a dent or an impact. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do the challenge again. This way I am forcing myself to ensure that I do. Sorry about my camera. Anyone who's watched these videos before knows that my camera set up in here is ridiculous. I've got to set up the GoPro back in here. Anyway, I needed to ensure that I was getting back to it every day and doing the book and eventually getting it out, rather than just taking my time here and there or whenever I felt like it. So, I'm back. I'm following the same rules. Now, if you've never watched the 100-day challenge that I've done in the past, let me give you a quick rundown of how this works after a sip of my delicious coffee. That was delicious coffee. So, the whole idea, 100 Days of Making Comics, is to work on your comic in some form or capacity for consecutive 100 days. So that includes your weekends, it includes your public holidays, no days off. 100 consecutive days. Rain, hail or shine, you will dedicate yourself to work on your comic book to get it done. The second, rule is to at least do 30 minutes a day. My goal is to do a minimum of 30 minutes a day, every day. But I know me, and I know that once I get started, that I will continue on generally to do an hour or 2 worth of work. It's just the way I find myself working. It happened last time I did this, and it will no doubt happen again. And it's already happened this morning. And thirdly, I'm sure there's some other rules, but I'm just glazing over the quick ones here. Thirdly is to post about it in some form of capacity online for accountability purposes. For me, I will be choosing YouTube, as I always have, and updating my YouTube channel daily with updates on how the comic is going. So for the next 100 days, there will be 100 videos approximately coming to your feed. There will be the odd occasion where, for example, weekends, I may put together a weekend video, which will cover those 2 days. But for the most part, it will just be singular videos for each day, documenting my progress, and I'll be doing my due diligence to try and film some of my progress too. So that's sort of the quick rundown of it. It's not a hard challenge. It's just a challenge, and it's something that is hopefully going to get me back into the habit of working on my comic every single day, and hopefully it will see me by the end of usually I think 100 days is 3.5 months-ish. Hopefully by the end of 3.5 months I should have my comic book finished. Usually when you're only doing half an hour a day, that's not exactly doable, but like I said, I do sort of take liberties, and I'll tend to work for like an hour or 2 some days and sort of get ahead of myself, which I think is an absolutely fine thing. If I've got the time to manage that, and it's not cutting into my own business or my own other work and family life, then I'm definitely going to do it. The other part of it too for me is I wanted to do the videos again. You guys probably saw that vlog that I did a few weeks ago. It was really nice. I was really enjoyed doing it. Did chew up a lot of time, but it was fun and it was nice to sort of be back into that game. I had filmed so much content since then, but actually sitting down to edit that had been an extreme struggle for me. So doing the really loose 100 days format like I've always been used to, it's something that's appealed to me. I'm looking in the future to getting some better hardware to make and portable hardware like a laptop to make that process easier for me and to see my output increase. But for the moment I'm stuck with my tablet and my desktop, and neither of those meet, I suppose, my personal needs, which is me not adapting greatly. But I have other things that I need to do, like my current lifestyle just doesn't sort of fit within the hardware that that I currently have. So looking to get a laptop of some capacity, or a MacBook Pro preferably, down the line, and that will increase productivity too. But for the meantime, I'm just going to be doing all of this on my phone, nothing fancy, real quick uploads, and just throwing in a little bit of footage on what I've been working on as well, so you can actually see physical progress. Mostly now, back when I did the 100 days, I was working full time, so a lot of my videos were just me talking in the car like I'm doing now, and I do tend to ramble, so be prepared for lots of words if you intend on following along. But it meant that I didn't actually show a lot of imagery because I was just uploading the work at the end of the day. Now I work from home 5 days a week, so I can actually film and show you what I've been doing, do some time-lapse videos, or even just some footage of the work that I've been doing. So, alright, so that's out of the way. That's why I'm doing this. Let's get to what I've done today, because that's the important thing. So these updates are me talking about what I've actually done today. So I woke up at 6:30, potted around, made my coffee, checked my emails, and got back to a few clients. 7 o'clock I started work on the comic book. One of the first things I did, and one thing I was playing around with last night, getting those ideas fresh into my head and sort of getting excited about it all again, was some very slight character redesigns. Now, we're only in issue 3, but when I look back to... Sorry about this whole camera debacle here. When I look back to issue 1, that was nearly 2 years ago when I started it. Was it 2 years ago or a year ago? No, it was, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because last year was sort of when things got really quiet and not good for the comic book series. So, sip of my coffee. So, last year, nothing happened. It's been 2 years since I did Monkey Junk. I've changed in styles a little bit, I've learnt a little bit more. So what I wanted to do was just do a little bit of a refresh. Nothing too heavy hitting, or make it jarring for the reader to be like, hang on, this isn't the comic. But enough to go, oh, cool. It's just a little bit of a refresh, but it's the same characters, it's the same story, it's the same artist and writer team. We're just looking, there's just some natural progression here. So what I ended up doing was just doing a little quick redesign, changing the costumes up a little bit, changing the hairstyles and things, and simplifying a lot of it too. That's one of the key things I wanted to do with Monkey Junk, was simplify some of the character designs to make the process a little bit quicker. So I felt that with the story, it didn't need to be insanely complicated or detailed. Although I have such a tendency to do that sometimes, of just overbearingly adding detail that doesn't need to be there, just to generate, I suppose, visual interest. But I've learnt my ways, and I'm trying to just trim the fat, I suppose, trim the fat on some of the character designs. So I'm going to post a little time-lapse video at the end of this, and you'll see what I'm talking about with that. Just redesigning some of the characters, updating their outfits a little bit. Now, coming into Chapter 3, we're actually leading off Chapter 2, where all of the heroes have all finally met. So you've got Geordie, Abby, Chris Bacon, and Sprocket have all met, and they've just finished sort of like this big battle, and from here we see them journeying off. So we're actually taking a little bit of a jump in time. So I unfortunately got interrupted. My phone rang and cut out the video. So I can't remember where I was at, but I'm close to work now, so I'm going to finish up what I was talking about. And it also means this video has been going on longer than you probably care to listen to. So yeah, redesigning the characters, and then once I did that, I got into a little bit of redrawing. So earlier in the year, last year, I did do work on Monkey Giant Chapter 3. So coming into this today, a lot of the layouts and stuff were already done. The purpose of me doing this challenge is to finally finish everything and make myself a little bit more accountable and develop that habit again of drawing my comic for 30 minutes every day minimum. So it's been an easy easing in process because a lot of the groundwork was already laid. You know, the script is done, the comic's pretty much laid out. I've now done a redesign of the characters to something I'm roughly happy with. I'll probably adapt on it later on. But for the most part, I can get to doing the rough pencils now of the comic, which is really exciting. So hopefully we'll see some ink pages coming out very soon. I am also looking at changing the style up just minutely. With the old issues, everything was black, white and grey, whereas now I want to actually change it to just being pure black and whites. So not in the style of, but similar to, say, like Sin City, etc. Just not having to rely on shade or anything, and hopefully just real blocky black colours and etc. So that's going to be a little bit of work and a little bit of practice for me as well to make sure that I can nail that, because that's different. It's a bit of a different style for me. I'm just sort of taking what I already know and reapplying it to taking what I want it to look like and applying my style to that. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'll leave you guys alone. Thank you for watching day 1, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 2. Have a great one, everybody.